had straight barbells, rousing my tongue, tasting like gunmetal. I know I got mental. I know I bought the farm twice over. I miss her like hell. She was real swell. I was in with 4 people. I am the size and shape of a large chimpanzee 3 weeks dead. She is the final vision I afforded myself before buying the farm. Perfect time dissolving, hoping soon quit line. It's all in my head. So extracted. I won't settle for anything so vigorous lovemaking. She drink rice wine to the city. Pass through obstructions like writing instructions just because you're not my baby. I don't know she ain't fine shit roasted over a God-sanctioned fire pit. We is the desirables and deplorables. We got a fuck ton of heavy-duty morals. But she ain't correcting no more. We got little fish to fry, high in the sky. The writing of love songs is an art form long lost to us. We who use greasy means to see man concuss. Love is improbable and impossible. The Tower of Babel was the original name for the internet. Before the thought through the internet. And I'm at the eye wash station on the 2nd floor trying to rinse out pepper spray, which hit me square in the face every time somebody other than her say what they gotta say. German luxury sedan hits the median. Oops, I did it again. I lose all executive privilege when I drive beside the Florida Hornet. Drinking rice wine, automatic soup. She and I, we is the desirables and the deplorables. With our fuck-ton heavy-duty morals. We ain't correcting no more. Bigger fish to fry. High in the sky. Pepper spray in your eyes. morning sunshine and the sting on the tongue of sunny delight with Donald Barthelme's Snow White. The Arabian Peninsula is the largest peninsula in the world. Tongue-tied ingrates go there chasing after proverbial pair of squirrels. Pensacola, Florida, city of five flags in the Florida Panhandle. A gaggle of geese and a cup of cran apple. Girl babble, I straddle the grimy statue of the pterodactyl. A smattering of agreeable misinformation to appease a lazy nation of libations, hallucinating Jean-Paul Sartre crustaceans, with Jason Bourne at Waterloo Station, with Ray Davies at Waterloo Sunset Hills. Anybody located my stepson Rite Aid yet? Girl, I don't need no weatherman to tell me that they're pussy wet. Shot where you dunked your mop in something way too hot and spread it around fast and you wouldn't get caught. But you caught now, dot on the dot with your blood clot and superfine lazy Sunday smock. Oh Lord, let this latest blast of weather unearth me and let the banisters shiver. Ingratitude spills from me like empty platitudes spill from ye. All tied up in the electronic mode with your blouse on backward and the smell of shit in your nose. Bleed for me, ringworm pocked, Dalmatian space baby, Howard the Duck, space rabies, Elon Musk musket, and 24-hour ketamine cannon. Kanye West buried at the bottom of a Saskatchewan green silo. And there once was a Dutchman named Milo who posed false snapshots in style. in courtship. I'm arrogant in solitude, settled, dive bombing the seafloor, quoth the raven, nevermore see anemone. The flagrant stripes of white knights are not your enemy. This quadrant is quarantined, so get your best fast on. Make your escape under the fence into nonsense and licentiousness. Quoth the raven, that shit's cringe. Whatever don't burn off this wart is sure to sin. I am not the atrophied man about spree. My toffee-colored splendor, girl, slender splendor in the grass. You mock up, you churl. We're on a roll. Needn't speaketh the raven in sunglasses at midnight masses. I roll like a barrel. I roll like new sheds. This is my skylarking pirouette. Ducky! Dirty cotton made me sick. Injecting narcotics with Grace Slick. At the top of the mountain, I flick the bit that is my bailiwick. Reconnaissance in the other realm run differently, but here we yell and howl at the audacity of the pastel bath towel. I can mediate at the going rate, and I no longer get plastered on lunch breaks. And if you ask that man lying in the road there, he'll say I have just what it takes. Concussed and bloody, my brother, just how I like my steak. I have sketched out the territory to be utilized for monitored group consensus, with the experimental hypothesis stipulating that we hope to use balance and coalition, where we may normally find hierarchical jockeying, underhanded competition. Folks need to learn to look one another right in the face, disagree with one another in clear, assertive language, and have done with it. If you cannot find your proper coalition, we will assuredly find you. Kino. Sprocket. Inseparable were the piled up worries, indifferentiated, confounding slurry. I, the irreducible I, no mistaking it, no worries, compost mile, mile after mile. They have shuttered the doors on the delicatessen again. I have tied your wrists behind your back with purple ribbons and heaven. The scissors make incisions against the meeting of our eyes and collisions, backed up by forces of swamp gas and a reality compressor, senor. The left and right sides of the body agree to disagree. In this instance, ineluctable was the modality of sound, or something like that, quoth Joyce. I would rather be moist as fresh deer droppings and dry as your upendings, taking over the studio, your henchman with the plate in his head, playing Emmylou Harris out over the air, whilst using your right index finger to twirl your hair. To all appearances having in this world not one care, not one single ineffective snare, even without a habitable layer to share. both the left and right sides of the body, now in woeful disrepair. Jolt of gnarly activity shoots down my arm. We're talking about my right arm, honey, the one that does direct harm. When I was growing up on the farm, I beheld all electricity in nature turn on, and all was a turn on. Hardly a turn-off anywhere at which to scoff. Preordained prearrangements are my favorite kind of missed appointment, like in the Spielberg movie Minority Report, adapted from Philip K. Dick. Left and right sides of the body ain't the same. Right sides will make me sick. I came in time to think of the left side of the body as the sonic nurse, and the right side is the warrior decked out in vainglory, often crossed but never sorry. The left big toe is like the pharmacy where we've been sourcing all the dope for entirety. X's and O's on the periphery. Them guts is where God put that dysentery. Oh, my prick went hard, bent slightly to the right. Leaning into difficulties and abandoning an oversight, like that young man in Dostoevsky's White Nights. The left and right sides of his body skizzing out, careening, and spotty.